Good day, Stakehites. Welcome to another interactive section with OAUSTECH SUG presidential candidates. This is the second episode of such we'll be having. We had one at first with Comr Oluwaseun, PK Senator, that is contesting for the post of SUG president of OAUSTECH. With me today, we have the second contestant for this amiable position for our great citadel of learning, and in person of Comr Oluwaseun Tobiloba. You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. So Oluwaseun Tobiloba from the Biological Science Department is contesting for the post of SUG president of this our great institution. So today we have in our midst and we'll be having a chit-chat discussion about the reason why he's contesting for this post and many other things you need to know about Comr Oluwaseun Tobiloba. Once again, Comr Oluwaseun, you are welcome, sir. So, as we proceed, can we meet you, sir?
Oluwaseun Tobiloba, popularly, politically, sagaciously, articulately, known as Central. I am a 5th student of zoology for the Department of Biological Sciences, Faculty of Sciences. And over time, I have been involved in the students' struggles and unionism. I was once a caution with my program right from my level even to this moment. I'll be dropping it tomorrow. And I have once served in the capacity of the SA to the media, to the Senate President, Honorable Abdulkadir Idris, on media and publicity matter. And I was once the Chief Press Secretary to the current Union President, but let me say outgoing, as a comrade, family. And I was once the IC chairman of my program association, that is National Association of Zoology Students.
Alright, that's very brilliant. Thank you very much once again for honoring us in this Okay, so if let's follows the position you read before and exactly who you are. Okay, fine. So running into this election, contesting, coming from the department, then the first question that comes to mind of everybody sitting, our stakeholders will be voting for you on the election day. The very first question we would like to ask is, what inspired you to contest for this post of SUG position? Is it that you're looking for power? Is it fame? Do you just want to be there? Why exactly are you contesting?
I love that question. So everything we do must be a question of why, most times. And I've asked myself that question over time. Why? If I'm not contesting, who would I have become? And over time, I've always loved serving people. And like my school of thought is, leadership is not supremacy, it is service to people. And I've been seeing that over the years I've gained experience, I've gained learnings, I've studied, and the peculiarity of our campuses, we have a lot of idiosyncrasies that permit the campus. And I deem it that if there is more I can do, and to that end I have come. I'm not coming just because I want to seek power or because I'm power intoxicated, but because I have an interest to serve and protect the student union interest.
Very good. Leadership is not supremacy, it's the service to the people. I like that line. Very, very good. Okay, fine. So now we know what your intention is. You have come to serve, as you said, the entire student populace. And when you were reading your portfolio, you mentioned some of your contributions to the current administration. You were the Chief Press Secretary to the current administration and this and that. So in a nutshell, in about 1 or 2 words, can you tell us this administration in review? What can you say about them?
The administration, it's so sad and appalling. The administration started, with a right foot, but at the end it dovetailed. And being the Chief Press Secretary to the then SUG president is something I can't, undo. But regardless of that fact, I am part of the administration, but the mess, I am not part of the mess. I was on CWS all through the administration. I was only responsible for the publication of the office of the president. And you agree with me that we have certain jurisdictions to the office and we don't trespass. And so I couldn't have done much, even though there is much I want to do. But the limitation has to come from my office. It's just solely for the press. And as of that, that's why I have come aboard again to right the wrong. You know, a lot of things has been, a lot of things have gone wrong.
Okay,
But
so
I'm promising to take it.
So if I understand you very clearly, you're actually admitting and saying that there's actually a mess in this current administration that's popular. Is that what you're actually saying?
I can't be defiant to the class of the students, irrespective of my own personal opinions. What I hear from the students, I want to advance. My own personal opinions at some point doesn't count. I've engaged students and I've seen their cries and their tears. And I'm promising the Stekites that we are coming back again. But this time around, it's a freedom movement. And we are promising to rain fire upon every anti-student policies. And we'll take back the union from the hands of medicals. Thank you.
Very good. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate its administration from what you just said? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very bad, 10 being the best. Can you give us a brief summary of the perspective of this being a part of the administration? And I'm very sure you'll not be biased.
Of course, I'll be biased. You know, administratively, Olumi performed. But when it has to do it otherwise, it did not.
So on a scale of 1 to 10?
Let me say, I'll give him 5.
5 over 10. 5 over 10, bro. Some people that's bad. Anyway, that's fine. Okay, so as we continue, we'll talk about this current administration. 5 over 10. Okay, very good. So I would like to ask, there's no matter how bad the administration might have been, or there's no matter whatever they have done, there must have been some initiative of this administration that you can, or let me ask you like this way. Is there any initiative for this administration that you can actually applaud and give a note that yes, they've done something?
Yes, of course. You know, you can't be totally bad. There will still be an element of good. And the last administration was the first administration on campus that will give back to the student populace. You know, I think he awarded the best student on campus. He organized a debate and a competition, and they were duly awarded as with a cash prize. I think that is commendable. You know, if say not and give back to student populace, is worthy of commendation. Over the years, we've had administrations who collect and don't give back to student populace. And I believe giving back to student populace should be the dream of every student union populace, every student union government. We can't have students in a school of more than 4,005 students and 1,000, and every year we are not giving back to them. Not in terms of project this time around, but in terms of cash. You know, they deserve it. So, and that's why I said when I'm coming on board, we'll run a student union scholarship scheme. At least we'll have 9 participants from across all faculties, 3 from each faculties. We are not promising full scholarship. Our scholarship is our, you know.
So let me put you on record there, because this is going to be a public discussion. So 9 participants from all across the 3 faculties, across the 3 schools. So you are promising that your administration there will be either full or partial scholarship for at least 9 students from each faculty. And the criteria whether will be decided by your administration in the long run. Well, I think that's fine. Now, having said that, there's a school of thought on this campus, especially when this politics thinking is all about, and now currently that you are contesting, there's a school of thought that believes that you are the favorite of this current administration, as popularly believed. So I don't know if you're going to prove us wrong. So they believe that this current administration is backing you up, and you are the favorite. So tell us, what can you say to that?
Everyone is entitled to their opinions, and what have you, we can't always reply the critics. But it still remains this: I'm not the favorite of the administration.
So are you distancing yourself from this administration?
Of course.
Are you saying they don't have any impact in your campaign?
As of today, I think publicly nobody has come out from the present administration to say it's endorsing Pali, and it should be made clear and sacrosanct. It is very sacrosanct and sacred that everybody know the truth. I championed this movement by myself, and I've been the one running both, the internal affairs and the external affairs. So whenever, I believe it's a political gimmicks, to jettison my chances as a pro.
So in summary, you are saying that you are not prepared to any administration.
At all.
You are coming out in your own
full
force.
I will say something. Okay. I started the journey of my election even before me emerged as a president. I can call on more than 3-5 people here who have been telling me I want to contest this 2020. I once contested for PR and lost the election. And immediately after the PR election, I told them, I said, the final level, I'm coming out to contest.
Very good, very good. Thank you for playing here on that Comr. We are very grateful. So let me ask you, what's your vision for OAUSTECH SUG?
Oh, thank you very much.
So what I'm trying to say is summarize everything you're coming to OAUSTECH SUG to do for us. So what exactly is your vision?
Yeah. Only a fool will promise that which is not in his ability. I'm not promised to build a castle in the air. I'm not promised to build a mansion in the middle of the ocean. But my promises are realistic. And they are visible. I'm not planning to do much. One of the major things I would like to face is we are paying exorbitant school fees as students on this campus. And I believe some we are able to pay that we are not enjoying the benefits. I'm a very meticulous boy, and I took my time to check the breakdown of the school fees. We are paying for ICT 10,000 every year. We are paying for sport 3,000 every year. We are paying for developmental level. I think that's 7,500 if I'm wrong. Now, all these fees, to what end are we paying them? In a class of more than 150 students, there is no provision for fan. In a school of more than 405 students, there is no stable light. It is intricately stupid, and it is out of order for the school to put more than 150 students in a class without a provision for fan. Education is going to be conducive and comfortable. So the first thing is comfortability and conduciveness of our academic pursuit. 2, we'll make sure that we enjoy every services we are paying for, the beat. And that's the first thing first. We can't be paying such a huge amount and we are receiving low from the management. Why would I be paying 10,000 naira and I'm not for ICT fee and I'm not enjoying free access to Wi-Fi?
Okay.
It is purely extortion.
Extortion, yeah. Thank you very much, Comr. Oluwaseun Tobiloba. Well, you have actually made a very valid point there for the exorbitant fee we pay in this school. Okay, so let me ask you. So, assuming you are elected today as the SUG president, what is the first thing you have in mind to do?
The first thing I have in mind to do,
first landmark achievement
is to cancel the asset exporter fee. It is ridiculous.
You think that's possible?
It's possible.
Are you saying that the current administration have not made any step on?
I believe if you have a practical government, some things should not be visible.
Are you saying the current administration are not proactive enough?
Of course, on that note, they are not.
They're not proactive.
Why will I be paying ICT due? I'm still paying access to fee. See, I'm not planning to come and rigmarole the student government. It is a freedom movement. I will take it back from there. I am coming on board to rain fire on every anti-student policies. It's an anti-student policy for you to pay ICT fee and you are still paying for access to fee. It's not done anywhere in Nigeria, anywhere in the world. So some things must be made clear before we start doing some project. And let me just stop from that.
Okay, fine. So what you are saying is, first thing first, as you are coming to the office, if you are being elected, after the election, within the first few weeks or few months, we should expect access fee on our portal to be cancelled.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. We'll take you up on that actually. Okay, so going forward, let me just put it to you. Does OAUSTECH SUG have a motto?
As of today, no.
There's no motto, or you are not aware of it?
I don't know.
Okay, so
as of today, I'm not sure there is a car for this motto. Like, are you using logo?
Yeah, I'm saying logo, like the motto, like Lauren will say better by far, you will say first and best, something like that.
Maybe that's due to my own idiosyncrasies and I can see attitude if I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. So the complexity of this school as we have it today is we have 3 faculties. Basically in this school, we have the Faculty of Engineering, we have the Faculty of Agric, and we have the Faculty of Science. So I put it to you, what exactly is your plan for infrastructural development in the 3 schools put together? Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Agric, Faculty of Science. Now, why do I ask this question? There's a particular school of thought that believe that your candidacy is not supporting candidacy from engineering. of course, a lot of rumors here and there. So I'm putting it to you. Do you want to run a secluded government, SUG president, whereby you just stay in main campus and then you just control from there? Or are you going to bring along everybody, regardless of who that voted for you or not? What exactly do you plan to do in that area?
The beauty of every administration is inclusiveness. I won't be a president if I'm a president of two faculties. You understand? And I said in part of my campaign mantra, I said, we will run an all-inclusive government where everyone matters and every idea counts. Now, to that question is what are my plans for the three faculties? Okay. I will start from mega campus as first. I believe NGI students are paying the highest fees on this campus. And right from inception, since 4 years, I think that was since 2018, they are being at the receiving end of the developmental process of the school. Okay. This is mega campus. Nothing tangible has been done in the last 4 years. If there is light in main campus, there won't be light in mega campus. If there is free Wi-Fi in main campus, there won't be free Wi-Fi here. See, it must be made bold and clear. These students are paying such a huge amount. And see, if I were president today, I would be president of all faculties. So I'm not trying to separate anybody from the administration.
Congratulations, is it true that you're not supporting candidates from the Faculty of Engineering?
No, that's not true. There may be an allegory, and like I said actually, there are essays and opinions. I personally today am supporting. You see, Faculty of Engineering is home. Either they like it or not. But I'm not certain of the rumors, and people are free to their own personal opinions. But I would also like to ask, and this is a public place, and you understand, I can't be the only one training jobs. Please help me ask them also. Are they supporting me? You understand? I am supporting everybody in the Faculty of Engineering. Why would I? Because even I myself, I'm an aspirant. You understand? So I don't really have to say some certain process. You understand? I am not the alpha and omega of the electionary process. You understand? So there is some certain factors which should be clear. You understand? But when it has to support, everybody has to be full support. And I can say it without fear or regard for personality.
So, Tobiloba, you are saying every aspirant has your full support, regardless of the faculty. Before we go to the audience, I would like to ask this one more very direct question that's been on my mind here. What's your take on godfatherism in school politics?
Godfatherism. I personally, I detest such politics. And, I believe godfatherism should be excluded from doing secularism. So I say currently we have godfatherism in this school politics? I'm not saying that, but I said it should be excluded, to understand, even if there is. But I believe anybody supporting, I believe you can get support from anywhere. And godfatherism should not be embraced because godfatherism will limit your opportunity, your effectiveness. So it's not a good quality to embrace.
So do you have a godfather?
No.
You don't have a godfather?
I don't.
You don't have a godfather?
I don't have a godfather.
You are saying publicly you don't have a godfather.
I don't have a godfather.
You are running solely on your own.
Solely on
your own account, on your own energy.
I'm not running on my own alone. I have supporters.
You have supporters.
And my supporters are the people I'm working with. So if there's any, I don't know, godfatherism is, I don't like that quality. I don't have godfathers. I have supporters.
Thank you very much for that. Before I continue, I would like to give you to audience to throw in one or two questions as we continue these chit chats that we're having. So I don't know if there's audiences that really has questions for our interview at this afternoon. Let's entertain like 2 questions and then we continue. Okay. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So how do you plan to have
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very tricky question, but I love that. 3 weeks ago, when we resumed, I and some stakeholders of campus who met the Vice Chancellor of the State College. So the Vice Chancellor of the school, and he said something. He said, they bought generators to the 3 faculties, and if elected, they said they are constituting a committee. They will constitute a committee which will include the management and students. You understand? And they will be responsible for, challenging, they will be responsible for fueling the light on campus. That's number one. But the other part is, if such things are not properly in place and we are not getting it on our campus, by comrades, leaders, we have no choice than to go back to them again. If the school can give us a deadline to pay our school fees, we should also give them deadline to give us the dividends of what we are paying for.
So you are saying that if consultation is not working, you are going for confrontation?
We go for confrontation. We only have 3 C's in La Luta. We have consultation, consolidation, and confrontation. If we have consult, if we have consolidate, and we are not seeing the feedback, we can't just sit down and fold our hands. We will take it to them. And see, we will not hesitate to shut down the school until certain things are met in this campus.
Thank you very
much. It's a freedom movement, and I stand by it.
Thank you very much. Any other question from you, please?
Thank you for the worship of your workers. There was an article released concerning the past SUG presidents being accused of embezzling large amount of money. What can you see, or what do you think concerning officials that use their position to embezzle?
Okay, what can I say to the official, right?
Yeah, I think the question is trying to ask in 2 parts. He's talking about the article released.
Okay, are you saying I should expand on the article?
Yes, what do you think about officials that use their position to embezzle the unions?
Okay, I think it is outright out of space and a lack of personal integrity to use the union's funds for your personal aggrandizement. You understand? Some certain facts must be made clear. The union property should be union property. And I see no reason why anybody will use that as advantage for his own personal interest. So I'm not a fan of that, and I won't do that. I have my integrity to protect. And because of that, I will not be part of those who will use the student money or finances for their own personal projects.
Alright, thank you very much, Comr Oluwaseun. Okay, so let's quickly address 2 pressing issues that we have on campus today. First issue is transportation, the other issue is security of lives and properties of students. Well, I'll start from the transportation aspect first. So I'll put it to you. So in the past weeks that have come by, we've seen a lot of students suffer a lot of hardship when it comes to transportation, the inflation on the part of the drivers, the so many numerous things that has been happening that is not actually in control of the student. So I put it to you, as the incoming SUG president, if you are actually probably elected, what's your plan in tackling the transportation challenges that we have in the school system?
Okay, I will say this, that the issue we still see unless we find an alternative.
So are you suggesting any solution?
Yes, I'm still coming to that. You see, the first is we must find an alternative. The drivers feel Stekite are left with no choice than to patronize them. But I'll take us back to the memory lane for those that are in my level. Maybe those that are in the level might not understand what I will say, but I will put it to you. When I was in the application of my academic post on this campus, that was 100 level days, there's this system of transportation we used. And we used the school shuttle. And I think we used tickets, not even I think, we used tickets to board the shuttle at a very minimal price. And I see no reason why the school shuttle should be on ground without the student making use of it. I believe this is a government of the students, and the school is the school today because of students. They should release 2 out of those buses for the students. And then, before you know it, it will subsidize the rate and the increase in transportation fee. A bus can carry up to 5, or out of the capacity 5 shuttle drivers will carry. You understand? I think if it is properly arranged, a coastal bus, a school coastal bus will carry up to 40 something students.
So are you suggesting you ask the school to raise a coastal bus for the student management to handle ongoing?
Not to handle per se at this time, some things are process by process. You understand? But the first point is giving the bus to the student first, to make use of then before we start fighting for the autonomy. You understand?
So I think you are trying to compare school to start making those votes to be functional.
Available again. And also, I think the state and government, we don't have enough finances to buy shuttle for ourselves. But I believe we can always walk up to people. We have individuals that are financially well-to-do and people of integrity and high caliber in this town, even in neighboring community. We can always walk up to them, give them our plight. And I'm so sure that we have good people in this town. I'm so sure that with God's grace and at the help of every step on this campus, we will achieve the thinking.
Thank you very much. So on the issue of security, once again, so let me ask you, during the strike period, and even let's leave the strike aside, even when people are even on campus, students are on campus, we had a lot of security issues that happen to students. We see security indigenous harass students on the street, collecting their phones and properties. People that live in the remote areas, we see indigenous attacking them, going to their houses and robbing, and there's nothing that's been done about it even till now. So I put it to you, how do you plan to secure the life of students, the very same of students, and securing the lives of students on and off campus if you're elected as the next SUG president?
Okay, I'm a believer, and I'll still go back to the Bible. And the Bible says only a foolish man will build a house without counting the cost. Understand? I'm a very meticulous being, like I used to say, and I've sat down on this issue. The first of all is we have a security summit, which will be inclusive of the traditional rulers and landlords of this town. And it will be made clear to them that as landlords of hostels, if you know you can't provide our students with meal guards, then relinquish your house from the aims of students to live. I can't be paying 70,000, 80,000, 110,000, and at the end of the day, my safety is not secured, even my property is not guaranteed. So the first thing first is we will tell them, SARS, it's very simple. If you know you can't provide what we are requesting, don't accept our students into your lodge again. Shemedek is a typical example. More than how many lodges that was there, more than how many rooms, more than 50 rooms if I'm correct. And can you imagine that I don't think they have a mega as of today. How do you want to ascertain the security of such students living there, even when they are not there on campus?
So in summary, at first you are saying you will ask the landlords to make sure the first.
That's the first thing first. Okay, and the other thing about the community is, there is a way we can talk with the indigenous leaders of the town. They know who is who. You understand? I'm a very proverbial person. They know who is who. We'll talk to them. We'll give them our plight. SARS. Let help us find something to do to this menace. Apart from that, we have security agencies in the land. We can always walk up to the civil defense, the police, the barracks, to give us, I don't think the school has the mercenary to fund their patrols every night. But I believe the school should work in conjunction with the community to employ vigilantes. Imagine from here to civil defense, if there's a vigilante here, from here to Mama Nigeria, to not even Mama Nigeria, so that junction at the back of Mega, there's a vigilante there. From that junction to Mama Nigeria, there's a vigilante there. Before you know it, these people will be scared. Not that they won't be able to perpetrate their evil doings, but there will be this minimized incursions of their activities. You understand? So you
are saying that you work hand in hand in partnership with the community to provide adequate security for life and properties of students on campus. All right, thank you very much. So before we bring this section to an end, I would like to give the room to more for our audience to. If there's any other questions from the audience before we actually wrap it up as we head to the polls. Do you have any more questions from the audience, please? Okay, so. At this point, I would like to ask, what specific capital projects, when I say specific, I'm not saying, I'm not talking about Balabu's capital project. I'm saying, what specific capital project are you intending to implement as a coming, so that I can put you on record, so that by that time, we'll not be having this debate that is doing. So tell us what you can say.
I'm a very visionary person, and I have three. You know, I'm not someone that will want to compete and doesn't know what to do. I have 3, and I'm not sure about the visibility of the 3, but I will throw the 3 to the house. If there is, you know, proper funding, we can do the 3. Number 1 is doing post terminals for students. You know, okay, if you go to main campus today, if they are waiting for bus, you need to complete them to their various hostels. They will have to stay under the sun before the bus comes to them. And I believe the welfareism of students should be, that's part of the welfare of the students. So if there's a bus terminal inside the school and the school gate, so that people that are waiting for cab in the door and that junction can stay, you understand, for bus to come. That's 1. 2, I have observed people trekking from main campus to main gate. The trekking is not even my problem, you understand, because not everybody has the financial capacity. But my problem is, you know, this kind of Okutupa weather is very harsh, and sometimes on the level, I just go out, I just go and buy gas. Before you come back home, you're already having a day. You understand? But the point is, if there's a covert, you know, we work on that, on those drainage covers. So if there's a covert ahead of it, so that when students are walking, they will be shielded away from the sunlight. You understand? So that you can walk in without any harm.
So bus stop terminals are a place for students to relax when they are walking from the
waiting for bus.
Campus, okay, so
and the 3rd one I'm proposing is the renovation of the graduation center.
I don't know what the current admission
No. That's just the graduation center is just there, and I think there is a table tennis there. You understand? But we are planning on furnishing it, giving it a befitting outlook, putting chairs, you know, and you know, they used to say commercializing it. Thank you, I'm looking for that adjective. Commercializing, you understand? The state government is, you know, is a government, so I believe we should not only depend on the union due for some certain activities.
So how do you intend to commercialize the regional center?
Thank you. You know, we can give some certain places in that place to vendors. We have food vendors on campus, drink vendors on campus, and before you know it, there's a certain percentage that the state government will rake in from that, you know, from that activities. You understand? And I still believe that there's nothing bad if the state government can have a POS unit, you understand, and a very society for students. Before you know it, students are, you know, you are even enjoying, and before you know, the central government is still, you know, receiving income. Right. Before you know it, we do things out of, you know, out of the student union purse. And another thing I still feel is, you know, if there's a TV there, you know, you can just come there and relax your way after lectures. There's nothing bad. In a civilized world, these things are what they do.
So let me ask you, how many people in other campuses like Mega will enjoy from these capital projects you're talking about? Okay. Like for the election center is really available in main campus. How do they want to benefit from that?
Of course, you know, that's also been my plan, because I've also been thinking on how to better the student, you know, students in Mega campus per se. So in my administration, because this is the only thing we can do for Mega, you know, not even the little we have a lot of things we can do. But I still feel if we can bring an annex of the graduation center back to Mega, you understand, for students to sit and enjoy. I believe there are some spaces at the back of that building there that can be utilized for such purposes. You
okay, so you are saying that when we have a graduation center at main campus, the administration is planning to bring graduation center to Mega as one of your capital projects in your administration. Of course. Is that what you are saying?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Comr Tobiloba. It's been a great time with you. So as we conclude the discussion this afternoon, I would like to ask you, what's the final words to Sister Kite as you head to the pool come 22nd of February 2022?
2023, the Senate government election, right?
Yes. What's final word?
My final word is this: vote credibility without being biased or being sentimental. We must not allow our personal differences, our individuals' inclinations to divide us. At the end, we don't have NUESA, we don't have NEHAS, we don't have NAS, we have OAUSTECH. So regardless of our faculty interest, regardless of our individual's interest, we must not forget that we are STEChites. And whatever decision we are going to make will not only affect us in person, we affect every STEChite on campus. It's not about me, it's about you, it's about him, it's about her, it's about every other STEChite on campus. So with that, I charge them to the poll. Vote for credibility. You know, you must be confident of yourself, and I'm sure we all know the better things for us to do as techites. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So dear techites are listening and watching this week. I'm sure you heard from the two contesting presidential candidates. It's left for us to decide, and let's go to the poll with an open mind. Let's cast our votes peacefully and make sure that we shun every form of violence or rigging of the election. May God be with us. Thank you very much.